Hey, what's good, folks? You know what it is. It's your boy Jay, and I'm here with another video today for you. So Michelle Obama is on the campaign trail with Kamala Harris, and they stopped in Michigan. And honestly, Michelle Obama has some choice words for the former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, just like everybody else who's campaigning for Kamala Harris, trying to save the day. But let's get to this video, and let's see what Michelle Obama, former First Lady, has to say. Fair use, fair use.
This election out to prove a point? Well, let me tell you who isn't tuning out. Many of the folks who served closest to Trump and saw the danger firsthand. His former vice president, almost half of his former cabinet members, the growing list of four-star generals and Republican governors and senators and former House members, all of whom are not publicly supporting his candidacy the second time around. Y'all hear what I said? They are saying no, thank you. Many are speaking out. His chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, for example, said, and these are his words, that Trump is fascist to the core. His Joint Chief of Staff. These folks know that nothing this man says or does is funny in any way.
Now, it's really eye-popping to me that John Kelly, his Joint Chiefs of Staff, who was fired by Donald Trump, is out saying these words weeks before the election. Where were these words 2 years ago? Where were these words 3 years ago? And the one thing about the Democratic plantation, what they will do is they will take something and run it to the ground. At the end of the day, when you have to talk about a man like Donald Trump, like he's a fascist and all these things, that's all you talk about. You don't talk about Kamala Harris's policies. You don't talk about how you're going to make the country better. But to constantly attack Donald Trump, honestly, it's starting to get really old, and it's starting to really wear thin on people. Let's continue.
So I hope you'll forgive me if I'm a little frustrated that some of us are choosing to ignore Donald Trump's gross incompetence while asking Kamala to dazzle us at every turn. I hope that you'll forgive me if I'm a little angry that we are indifferent to his erratic behavior, his obvious mental decline, his history as a convicted felon, a known slumlord, a predator found liable for sexual abuse. All of this while we pick apart Kamala's answers from interviews that he doesn't even have the courage to do, y'all.
Now, she says that we pick apart Kamala Harris. This is the thing about Kamala Harris when she does interviews. She's doing interviews on networks that are favored to her. MSNBC, CNN, CBS, ABC, all of these networks are favorable to Kamala Harris. Basically, most of the questions she's getting are slam dunk answers. All she needs is to answer the question in the simplest form, talk about policies and all these things, and she would have an easy road. But this is the issue. When you talk about a person like you do Donald Trump, you know what it does? It not only fires up his base, you know what it does? It makes people look at you like, why do you have to go and attack this man at every single turn? I remember when Donald Trump got shot, and for a couple of days, people were like, we need to stop all the rhetoric and all this stuff that's going on. And then like 2 days later, the news outlets, the leftist outlets, the corporate media, they get right back on the attack, just like Michelle Obama is. And it's sad because you have to come out there and say things that your husband has said, say things that Liz Cheney has said. Everybody's saying the same stuff instead of trying to talk about what is Kamala Harris going to do for the country. You're talking about she has to be flawless. Of course, she has to be flawless because Donald Trump has been former president. It's not like Donald Trump in 2016. The same things, the same rhetoric that y'all were pumping in 2016 when Hillary Clinton was running. You're doing the same thing now, and it's not really working, and it's not really generating with a lot of people. Let's continue.
So, I am praying that those of us contemplating voting for Trump or not voting at all will snap out of whatever fog we are in. I am praying that we consider the decades of sacrifice and struggle by all of our ancestors, the folks who marched and sacrificed and shed their blood for us. We have to ask ourselves, is a vote for Trump or no vote at all the way we honor their lives? And if that's the case, well, that surely doesn't sound like freedom to me. Because let me tell you, in any other profession or arena, Trump's criminal track record and amoral character would be embarrassing, shameful, and disqualifying. So, I hope that you will forgive me if I am worried that we will blow this opportunity to finally turn the page on the ugliness once and for all. Because believe me, if Donald Trump is president again, at some point or another, that ugliness will touch all of our lives. And it will not matter what you look like, how you worship, who you love, or how you vote. If you don't make 6 or 8 or 12 figures, if you're not famous, if you criticize or disagree with him in any way, if he doesn't view you as his equal or relevant to his ambitions, I promise you, he will not think about you when he gets into the Oval Office. And that will happen.
Now, you're talking about people not thinking about individuals when they get in the Oval Office. What has Joe Biden did for the last 3.5 years? What has Kamala Harris did for the last 3.5 years? You let over 12 million migrants come over the border, take over different apartment complexes, and you know the liberal MSDNC or whatever, and CNN, they're not going to talk about stuff like that. They're going to go ahead and press the issue about Trump. But let's get back to what I'm talking about, or what I've been talking about for the last few weeks. What is Kamala going to do for the country? See, this would work if you were running for president, Michelle, or if your husband was running for president, but you're not running for president. Obama's not running for president. Liz Cheney's not running for president. Joe Biden, you cooed him out, so he's not running for president. It's Kamala Harris. And nobody wants an empty suit in the White House. People are talking about, what can you do for me as a person? People are tired of you talking about the same old talking points about Donald Trump. People are just tired of it. And this is the reason why people are tuning corporate media out. Let's go ahead and see what she has to finish with.
Look like, how you worship, who you love, or how you vote. If you don't make 6 or 8 or 12 figures, if you're not famous, if you criticize or disagree with him in any way, if he doesn't view you as his equal or relevant to his ambitions, I promise you, he will not think about you when he gets into the Oval Office. And that will have real consequences for all of us. If your town
probably for you
gets hit by a natural disaster, who do you want looking out for you? Is it Donald Trump, who's spreading so many lies and conspiracy theories about climate change and FEMA that the workers in North Carolina trying to help folks clean up after the last hurricane were fearing for their safety? Or is it Kamala Harris, who has been meeting with local officials, comforting the families in that state and doing everything she can to get folks the help they need? If you're saving up to buy a house or pay off student loans, if you're caring for your kids or your parents or both, if you are a farmer, a factory worker, a paralegal, anyone whose job may be changed or replaced by technology, who will...
I mean, Michelle should have been a politician. She has all the talking points down back, man. And the sad thing is that the left, that's all they tend to do is the first thing they'll do is attack Trump. Attack Trump, attack Trump, attack Trump. And the reason why it's getting old and people are starting to tune out is because at the end of the day, it didn't work in 2016. It pretty much didn't work in 2020. I mean, Biden didn't win by that much. And now in 2024, with the polls basically dead even, they're begging you to vote for Kamala Harris, which means 4 more years of what we got going on right now. Now, honestly, would you want 4 more years of what's going on right now? Or would you want Donald Trump to come in and try to do what he could do to fix it? I mean, a lot of people on the left want you to forget what has happened in the last 3.5 years. A lot of people on the left want you to forget about what happened in Afghanistan with those troops. A lot of people on the left want you to forget about the migrant crisis. A lot of people want you to forget about the price of groceries and stuff like that. The issue with Kamala Harris, and I'm gonna close with this, is that when she's pressed about certain issues, she doesn't have an answer. Do you want a president when they pressed about certain issues, they don't have an answer, or they word salad their way out? Or would you want somebody who was president, and at the time he was president, the economy is at its best in the last 20 years? Let me know. I mean, I'm just being honest. But it's your boy Jay here with another video. If you like the video, hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button. On my road to the first 1,000 subscribers. Let me know what you think about Michelle Obama's speech. I'm going to leave a link to the full video in the description so you can watch it in its entirety. Also, I got a video on the side for your viewing pleasure. So let me know what you think. Until next time, folks, I'm out.